Who said that you had to make huge changes in your lives to start seeing some progress or results? I am all about the small tweaks that you can start implementing in your life today that are going to bring you the most benefits. And this is exactly what this video is going to be about. I am going to share with you 5 habits or hacks that you can start implementing today that is going to improve the quality of your life in general, but also make you a much happier person. Let's get into it. In the beginning of the year, I got really curious into this whole world of biohacking. If you're not familiar with this term, it's basically optimizing your habits so that you would live a much longer and healthier life. I read a book about it, I listened to a couple of podcasts, and I was very surprised to hear that sleep was actually at the heart of this whole movement. I don't know, personally, I was expecting something a bit more elaborate and complicated, like a crazy diet or like an intense supplementation game. But it turns out that sleep was one of the most important keys to successful biohacking. And it kind of makes sense, right? On the days where you wake up feeling rested from a great night of sleep, you have better moods during the day, you feel more grounded, and you are more productive because you're able to focus more. Whereas on the days that you've had poor nights of sleep, then your moods are all over the place, you're distracted at work, and you tend to crave the foods that you know are not that great for you. Bottom line, prioritizing a good night of sleep is such a great way to improve your well-being in general, and there are a couple of ways to optimize your sleep. From what I've read, going to sleep approximately at the same time is a great way to reinforce your sleep and wake cycle, which is going to improve the quality of your sleep. Another great thing you can do to improve your sleep is just having a wind down routine. So it's basically a set of habits that you're going to do every night that is going to kind of like signal your body that now it's time to chill and get ready for bed. Maybe it can start with you having a warm shower or a nice bath and then getting into comfortable clothes, and why not do a little infusion for yourself. But one of the most important things that you should be doing come evening time is to start dimming the lights. Because apparently if you have bright lights above your head when evening time comes, which means like the sun is setting, then it can be confusing for your circadian rhythm, which can then mess some stuff up. So once the sun sets, just make sure you only have gentle lights around. And one of the other things that you can do that is going to drastically improve the quality of your sleep is to sleep in a dark room. And you would be surprised because even the slightest of lights could really disrupt your sleep cycles. So a great solution would be to sleep with a sleep mask. I got gifted this sleep mask by Mentis Sleep, and it is so good because not only does it block all the lights away, but also it's very restful for your eyes. This one is slightly weighted and I absolutely love the feel of it. I actually like to use it even during the day. So whenever I feel like my eyes are a little too strained from all the screens, I'll just put that on, put some spa music on, and then I'm good with like a 10 minutes rest and I'm good to go again. If you want to get the Mentis Sleep experience, I have a code for you. You can use Divya10 to get 10% discount on your next order at Mentis Sleep. I am sure you're going to love this. But anyways, Mentis Sleep or not, I do recommend that you try to sleep with a sleep mask, and it will improve the quality of your sleep so much, and you'll even feel it during the day. The next tip is no phone and no coffee until 1 hour after you wake up. I know, is there anything fun you can do after you wake up? Let's start with the phone. You want to avoid it because the minute that you get on your phone, you'll see all the messages and all the emails that you received, and you're going to feel very tempted to reply to all of them, which is going to put you in a responsive mode for the whole day. And we want to avoid that because we want to be proactive. We want to feel in control of our day. And obviously, waking up and going on social media, the first thing is really not a move. I mean, you are not in control of what you're going to see on those platforms. And let's be honest, a lot of times they're negative. No matter how selective you are with the people that you follow, you're not in control of how they are going to make you feel in the morning, and we just want to stay away from all that negativity. You want to start the day feeling zen, serene, and positive. The next one is caffeine. This one is especially very hard for me because one of the biggest motivators for me to wake up is my cup of coffee, and it took me a while to kind of like delay it for an hour. hour. And it kind of makes sense because during the whole night, you've not had a drop of water and you've not eaten, right? So you are very dehydrated. The first thing you want to do when you wake up is just make sure you hydrate as much as possible. And the second thing is that having caffeine on an empty stomach is going to spike your cortisol level, which is your stress hormone. And when your cortisol level is up, it kind of makes you insulin resistant, which basically means that it compromises your ability to process sugars and carbohydrates. And we do not want that. So yeah, try to delay your cup of coffee as long as possible and just make sure you're not having it on an empty stomach. But I understand stopping a habit is so hard to do. But one thing that can make it slightly easier is to replace it by something else. So for instance, instead of going on your phone first thing, then find another activity that you can do. Maybe you do some journaling or try out meditation or do a little stretching or even read a book. And in regards to your cup of coffee, you can maybe swap it for like a hot lemon water or even like a peppermint infusion. You'll see delaying your doses of dopamine and caffeine are going to do such great things for you. Your performance in all areas are going to skyrocket, but also your energy levels are going to be much more stable. Next tip is spending time alone. No matter if you are in a relationship or single, you need to learn how to spend time alone. Before, years ago, I was so uncomfortable with myself, like being alone. I just would not know what to do. I would always have TV or podcasts in the background to keep myself company, and that made me really sad now that I think about it, because that meant I was not comfortable or I did not feel complete with myself. I don't know if it's because I did not like facing my own thoughts and anxieties, but I just did not like the feeling of being alone. And I knew I had to work on it, and I took baby steps. First, it was just me sitting in silence in the morning just to get comfortable with my presence. And then I started going on small walks where I would try to be as in touch as possible with what was going on around me, noticing the small things in my surrounding and just enjoying, the scenery and the present. And then I was kind of like feeling okay to go in a cafe and be by my own, do some people watching, and now I actually love it. Because here's the thing, people come and go, but you have to live with yourself your whole life, right? But also here's the thing, when you're constantly in the presence of people, whether it is your family, your friends, or your partner, subconsciously they are rubbing off on you and you're showing up as their version that is either their friend, their partner, or their sister or their daughter. You're not being fully yourself. So alone times gives you that. It gives you the time and the space to experience with yourself and your personality. And think about it, when you're not in the presence of anyone who knows you, you can be or do whatever you want. Personally, spending time alone has done such great things for me. It has helped me figure out what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be, but also it helped me build my self-confidence, which I am so grateful for. So yeah, try to spend more time alone. At first, it might be weird or feel a little uncomfortable, but as you go, you're going to love it. Next tip, move your body. I feel like I keep repeating myself in my videos when I say that you need to move your body every day. But you know what? I don't care. It has done wonders for me, so I'm gonna keep repeating it. First of all, when I say moving your body, it doesn't mean going to work out. It can be any sort of movement. We're not discriminating here. It can be walking, stretching, dancing, anything you want. And aside from the very obvious health benefits, think of it this way. If you're stagnant all day, your energy levels are going to be the exact same. It's going to be stagnant, which is going to translate into lack of focus, feeling low, and just feeling reckless. Whereas if you're moving, then your energy is going to flow so much better in your body, which makes sense because you are promoting better blood circulation. And so you'll feel so much more lively, energized, and your performance at work is really going to benefit from it too. Besides, it kind of makes sense because your muscles represent more than half of your body composition. And while they do need rest, they also crave movement for them to stay maintained. So having a daily routine that involves movement in some capacity is really going to boost your happiness, your focus, and your energy. Personally, I feel it. Whenever I am not moving, and I am like, I don't know, in the same position the whole day, my energy levels are so low. I am much more distracted, and at some point I just feel bored and I am so sluggish and I get so much less things done. And you know what? At some point last year, I was actually tracking my moods, and it became very apparent to me that on the days that I was not moving, well, my moods suffered from it, because that's when I was anxious, that's when I was feeling more sad, and that's when I was just like low in general. So definitely think about implementing some movement during your day. Practice gratitude. Last but not least is to practice gratitude. Whether or not you're someone that journals regularly, practicing gratitude is a great way to start seeing the glass half full. What I mean by that is that as humans, it is easier for us to notice everything that is going wrong or everything that is annoying us. When you start practicing gratitude, you kind of like turn tables and you start noticing all those beautiful things that are coming your way and that are happening for you. And the great thing about this feeling of like happy heart and gratitude is that it is going to put you on a frequency that is going to set you up to attract more of those experiences that match that frequency. I think that practicing gratitude is actually the foundation of this whole lucky girl syndrome, you know. I guess, you know, sometimes we get caught up with life and we stop noticing all those beautiful things happening for us in our lives, and we do not realize how lucky we really are. It's like we go through life with those tinted glasses, and once we switch to like a gratitude mindset, then we stop being oblivious to all those good things that are happening for us, and we start feeling blessed because we are. For me, I also love practicing gratitude whenever I feel overwhelmed or anxious, because it's just a great way for me to remind myself of all the good things that are going on for me right now. Anyways, I think that is it on my video on my 5 habits and tips that are going to improve your life. I want to know, what do you think about them? Have you tried those already? Are you planning to do so? Please let me know in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to all of them. As for me, I really like those habits because they're very low effort. They're so easy to implement, and yet they're going to bring you some great results. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like and subscribe. It means the world to me, and I will see you soon for another video.